All right, we have started a podcast.
That we have.
I'm really excited, Ian.
I know, Abe.
This is kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie.
That is gonna be very weird.
Okay, so originally we were going to try and figure out what our name would be, but as we were sort of pulling this all together, we decided the Café podcast.
Yep. We kind of thought it worked well in some way with what we plan on doing. Just kind of like a
Mm-hmm.
calm sort of. I guess would it be like sort of a calm talking friend to friend type of thing almost, so people can just sit down and relax and listen.
Yeah, I, you know what? Why don't you tell me why you like it, and then I'll tell you why I like it.
I like it because, man, I just almost choked on my spit there. um, I like it because it kind of gives off a certain vibe where it's just sort of like you can just kind of relax, get a cup of coffee, and just listen and, hear what we talk about, and then after the fact, chime in if in some other, like comments or something like that, depending on where we put these podcasts, because we still have yet to really do that. Um, but, I feel like it just kind of gives off sort of a relaxed mood, almost.
All right, for me at least, a cafe was a place um, where like you would sit down with your colleagues and you would share ideas and you would talk about things that you would normally not talk about in like parties or in like school.
Alright, I see it.
So like, and I could totally see like the appeal. So like, it's both of us talking in a cafe on a table, and then of course you, the audience, is also sitting next to us,
Yeah,
quietly listening to what we're talking about.
alright. I like that point of view. I think it sounds very interesting, actually. Alright, Cafe Podcast.
But I am totally open for better things, if that makes sense.
Yeah, different and sort of like names that if we think sound better, then yeah. I'm open to that too. I mean, that's kind of the name of the game with podcasts. We're open to a lot of things, so.
Oh yeah, and you know what? This is perfect. The perfect segue right here is I'm going to be, as someone who, um, you know, loves information. I'm going to be wrong a whole lot. I don't expect myself to be correct on everything,
Yeah, I
and
don't expect myself to be correct on everything either.
it's it's like I don't know how to explain this, but basically, it's I'm trying to find the right words.
Mm.
I'm going to be wrong, and I think that's okay. Well, I mean, it's not okay, but I accept that I'm going to get things wrong.
Yeah, I accept that too.
But you know what? The thing I would promote for anyone who is doing something like this is that if you if you do something wrong the first time or even the second time, you should acknowledge what you did wrong and then try not to get it wrong again.
Yes, that is definitely something that I should also take as a I should also take as a person.
Because like, there are some people out there that are like that know they're wrong, but then they'll continue to argue for because
Yep,
just
stuck in there.
they're stuck where they are. They're just so stubborn.
Yep, they're stuck in their ways. They don't want to change their thought because in their mind, their thought is right, and no one's gonna tell them otherwise,
Yeah. So yeah.
which ends up being a problem.
So I mean, in your opinion, what do you think if we do end up getting something monumentally wrong? How do you think we should approach it?
I think that if we get something wrong, we should, in the next podcast, acknowledge. I don't know if we should do this first or if the topic comes up.
No, I think we
I
should
think
do
that
it
it's probably
first because
yeah.
if you don't do it first, then then will assume that we didn't catch what we got wrong. I would do it first.
Yeah. Okay, so we at first, like, first thing in the podcast, we do our whole little introduction thing, and then we'd be like, okay, so before we really do anything, we should acknowledge what we got wrong last time, and that could also lead to a discussion of, what we got wrong and what our opinions are because of knowing that.
Um, I should also mention that for some things we will not have opinions at all because we could care less about. But then for other things we do care deeply and have strong opinions. But opinions
Yep.
are not things that are solid. We can totally change our opinions if there's a better argument. I'm open to anything, honestly.
Yeah, same here.
So I don't want our audience to think that we are the elites. This is a cafe where we can discuss things, and if you think we're wrong, I'm open to that.
Yep. Life is learning from your mistakes, learning from what you said wrong, what you did wrong, and evolving as a person from it.
Yes, yes, like the classical way of education. Instead of us going into an institution where we're forced to learn, this cafe is a place to sit down and share our ideas, see if they still hold up, and if they don't, question why, and then finally know the truth.
Yep. Now, speaking of school, let's talk about that
No,
and our.
nope, 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 nope. I'm not going to do that. There's a lot of things I want to say, and I've not composed myself to. There's a lot of things I want to say, and we
Alright.
would be here for a very, very long time.
Respectable. You don't have your opinions fully formed yet, so you don't want to, really. I guess the correct term would be blabber your mouth about it without getting all your opinions fully formed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not like that where I would want to rush into things that I don't 100% know about. Speaking of which, if for any reason I am wrong about something, I wonder how because I've never done this before. So I wonder what it's going to feel like when you do get something wrong, something so monumentally wrong.
I wonder that too, because I can imagine a lot of YouTubers and a lot of just kind of video people or TV people in general, that I can imagine that happens to them quite a lot. As when you're talking about information like that, a lot of the time you are bound to get something wrong. It's just kind of what happens.
Hmm.
So I can imagine that when they realize they're wrong, I can imagine at first it would really feel like it's detrimental to us. It's like, oh my gosh, I got this wrong because I didn't research this enough or something like that. We just kind of be more loathing ourselves, and I feel like as we go on, we'll start to get used to it and be like, oh, we got this wrong. We should acknowledge that later, and we'll become a little bit more used to that and a little bit more professional with it.
Um, you know what? I think you're right. I think that's how it is. But I will try my best. And this is about an hour long, so
Yeah.
if there are things that I that are wrong and I don't say it, um, more likely than not, it's more like I didn't hear myself say it and I don't remember saying it. Um, but if I'm wrong, please point it out, and I will gladly check myself. Oh, speaking of which,
Yep.
um, I'm trying to figure out how would we do this? Because should we do it at the very, very beginning, or should we do it slightly after the beginning?
I think we should introduce ourselves, have a little introduction, like, hey, if you're new to here, I'm Ian. He's Abe, and this is the cafe, and then we'll be like, okay, so before we start, so we'll have that little introduction, but then
Hmm.
after that little introduction, we acknowledge what we got wrong.
All right, all right. I think that makes sense. We're about to meet the 10-minute mark, so we'll
Yep.
see you in just a bit.
All right. What?
So we're back from our break.
Yep.
All right. So, final thoughts on the podcast name. It's a good name in my opinion. It has a lot of interesting connotation. But if you're a creative person and you can think of better, interesting names, I'm totally open for that.
Yep. I think the name is kind gives off a relaxing type of mood to it, as a cafe generally is not stressed out, and it just kind of gives off a good type of mood essentially. So, and I am open to suggestions as well, just like my friend Abe over here is.
Hmm. Speaking of which, I had an interesting day today.
Hmm. What was your
Uh,
day?
no, you were there. I for the first
I
time
mean, yeah, I
had.
know I was there, but I don't
Um,
know
I
what you're talking about throughout the day. I was there at some point, but
no, okay. You and our friends were there, and I. Well, you know what?
this.
Maybe I should give you some context. I am someone that does not eat a lot of foods regularly. So, many foods that you possibly may have already eaten.
You don't eat a lot of diverse foods.
Yeah.
Alright.
So for me, I asked my friend cook me some stuff that I have never had. What was it called?
It was literally just like sausage and peppers and onions, basically.
It was delicious. Let me tell you.
Yeah, yeah. He hasn't had many foods that are kind of like that. I should mention the friend that cooked this was Italian, and that because that sounded like the food itself is kind of an Italian thing to cook.
Mhm.
So
Um, he was great. His dad made it, and I really loved. I really loved it. It was great. I rated it 9.5 out of 10. Um, that was an interesting experience.
yeah, you see, I've had that food before. I've had many foods before because I'm generally a person that's exposed to a lot of that stuff as
Hmm.
more than I imagine you are. So
Wait, I'm
I
curious.
just
What kind of foods have you have? Because I'll tell you if I have them or not.
okay. Well, I'm pretty sure you've had pizza.
Yes, I've had pizza. Who
What type
hasn't?
of pizzas have you had?
Um, well, for me, I generally, and there's gonna be a lot of flack for this. I generally I like plain pizza. I like vegetable pizza, like with olives and bell peppers and such.
Yeah.
I as a kid, I really loved mushroom pizza.
Really?
It's sort of simmered down now, but I still like it. But I really loved mushroom pizza.
All right. I actually like Hawaiian pizza quite a lot.
Oh, is
I
that
don't
with
get what
the
the
peaches? Not the
pineapples.
peaches, the pineapples, right?
Yes.
I've never, I don't think I've ever had that, but I would assume that the pineapples texture is sweet and salty, kind of.
Yes, the
And
pizza
then,
itself, I don't get why people hate it so much because there's a lot of people that hate it or love it. I like it. I think it adds a nice sweetness to counteract the saltiness, and I think it has a nice taste to it. I mean, I certainly can't have it every day, but I like it, and I'll definitely eat it every now and then.
mm, I'm trying to imagine because is it sort of like the same thing with like if you had like a bell pepper, where sort of the texture makes it edible, or is it just the sweetness?
I guess it's just the sweetness, but most likely.
Hmm.
So
I've never had it, so.
yeah. Um, let's see here. I'm a huge I eat meat a lot. I'm a meat lover, so I've had almost all the pizzas that have had some type of meat on them, like sausage, meatball, or just kind of burger type of grounded up, so like ground beef essentially.
I've never
And all
had
those stuff.
pepperoni pizza.
You've had what?
I've never had pepperoni pizza.
Dude, that is a staple of pizza.
I know, but I've never had it because as a kid I would only eat either the cheese pizza or I would eat the vegetable pizza.
Yeah, yeah, man. Sometime, me and you just gotta go out to a pizza place and order just like we have half a pizza of stuff that you have not tried of pizza, and then the other half of pizzas that I have not tried. I will say right now, I have never had mushroom pizza. I've had mushrooms on pizza, but never like alone. Per
Oh, you've
se.
never had mushrooms without pizza?
No, no, no. I mean, like I've never had mushroom pizza. Just like that. I've always had something else on there, something meat related, or something else that appeals to me a bit more. So.
Um, in terms of meat, I'm trying to think because I guess I've had grounded up beef on
Mhm.
my pizza. I have had that, but
Okay.
besides that, I don't think I've had any other kinds of pizza with meat on it.
Yeah. One of my favorite pizzas is that okay, so we order my family if we order pizza, we usually choose between kind of one of those as people would call it real pizza places or we choose Domino's as our family likes Domino's quite a bit.
All right,
And yeah, but at Domino's, they have like a chicken bacon ranch pizza and oh, it's like to die for. It's amazing.
that sounds delicious, but it also
I
sounds
love it.
incredibly fattening.
Oh, it probably is. But I don't care. I love it. So, I
We
mean,
should.
let's be real here. When you order from Domino's, not only are you ordering pizza, you're also ordering soda. You're getting some of the lava cakes or whatever,
What's a lava
or
cake?
even yeah, or even some of their like cookie pizzas. So, Domino's is just all around
Wait, wait, wait,
fattening.
wait, wait. No, no, no. Let's not. What is a lava cake?
Uh, a lava cake? It's like wait, as in like what's Domino's in particular, or have you not ever had that?
I've never had a lava cake.
The lava cake is essentially on the outside it looks like a chocolate cake with an interesting sort of like crater on the top essentially.
Hmm.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But you
Here,
cut in
I'll
and
look it up.
it's like
I'll look
hot
up what it looks
fudge.
like. Hot
Yeah.
fudge. Okay, so it's basically a sweet.
Oh yeah, it's heavily a sweet.
Okay, let me look
Dude, it's
this
like a
up.
dessert thing. And then you put icing on it on the top and it's like
Oh my
it's
god, that looks like a brownie with fudge inside.
pretty much.
That is. It kind of looks like a steak, but not really.
I see what you mean, but it's so good.
Ah, that looks delicious. I've never had it
You ever
before.
you ever get Domino's? Get that. You gotta get that with it and just try a piece and you're just like, it's awesome. Is it unhealthy? Yes. Do I feel like I have a heart attack after eating it? Most likely, I feel like I'm going to. But I never do. I never do. So I continue. Because that's what should motivate me to continue eating, right? Is if I don't die from it.
Yes, food is great when it doesn't kill you. Only
I
slightly,
mean,
though.
yeah, yeah. Depends on which foods. Sometimes they don't taste good and they'll kill you.
Hmm.
Oh, you know.
Okay,
But
so besides pizza, can you think of any other types of food?
hmm. Um, I don't think you've ever tried, and I'm gonna really I'm gonna really stretch for some of these. Have you? You're pretty sure you've had French toast, right? I think everyone has.
No, I have
You?
not had French toast.
Oh my
Or wait,
gosh!
hold on. By French toast, I don't mean because we're seniors in high school. I have had the French toast in like school,
Oh,
but
not the
like
school one. No.
but I assume that anything from the school is pseudo at best.
Yeah, you're pretty much on the nose with that one. Yeah, our school's lunch is not the best at all, and I'm pretty sure that just goes across America completely. That's just school lunch is not great. Oh
I
no, it's school
mean,
breakfast.
the lunch ladies there are usually very nice and
Oh yeah, of course they are. I mean, like I actually interact with them.
oh,
Few people in the school that I
we're almost at the 10-minute mark. So,
Oh yeah, that's right.
alrighty.
So
So, once it hits 10, we'll take a break. See you later. Okay, so yeah, the school lunch ladies in our school are really really nice. I mean, I assume that it's not the same in every school. I'm sure there are mean lunch ladies, but our lunch ladies are really really nice. They're honestly
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
Yeah, I've
Um,
always enjoyed talking to them in some way, shape, or form. Because they are really nice. You know, they actually. I remember in ninth grade, we were like it was like eighth period or seventh period. It was seventh period, but that was the last lunchtime of that lunchroom. So because in our school we have two lunchrooms. They're
mhm,
they're they're decent sized too, but I mean when you have that many kids, so but so that lunchroom seventh period was the last period they had anyone in it. So me and my friends sat near where like the area where you get your lunches, and because they generally most of the food goes to waste after the day is done pretty much. But what the lunch ladies would do is they would actually we have cookies that are sold as a snack with lunch, and those are like everyone loves them. They're actually really good, surprisingly. Um, for the
mhm,
most part. Sometimes they don't end up too well, but for the most part, they actually are decently good. So, the lunch ladies will sometimes, because we're sitting so close, and they're just gonna throw out the cookies. They give us like two each for all of us, like two packs, and each pack has like three cookies. So they give us like two packs, and it's like for like each person. So we always and no for free. We didn't have to pay for them, so it was always pretty nice. And I always thought, wow, the lunch ladies are really nice for letting us do that. So
mhm. But going back, yeah, I've never had French toast besides the school lunch of French toast. So,
yeah,
um, I like the lunch ladies. I don't like the food. Um, I don't know if there you can really change that, but yeah, I've never had real French toast before.
yeah. I get what you mean. You need to go to some place like IHOP. Have you had pancakes? Please tell me you've had pancakes.
Well, I mean, this one's difficult because I get when I was a kid, I preferred pancakes over waffles. I was that kind of dude, but then I switched over, and I imagined myself switching back to pancakes because that's what my parents did. And anyway, but as a kid, I loved pancakes, and
Okay.
um, my mom and dad didn't know that you can make your own pancakes, like with like batter.
Yeah.
So they would get like the frozen pancakes that you would like put
Oh.
in the microwave or like you would toast in the oven.
Yeah.
So I assume that is totally processed and fake.
Yep.
But then later on, my mom would just actually like make them, but the batter was bought, not made.
Mm.
And it's not like my mom doesn't want to. It's more like in the morning, no one wants to get up early in the morning, make the batter, put it in the fry pan, and
Yeah.
then yeah, like my mom's a pretty good cook, but she's really not the kind of person to waste time. So
I.
we just cook it in the toaster oven, and that's that.
Yeah. Dude. Sometime I also not only do I need to we need to take a trip to a pizza place. Now we need to take a trip to IHOP and just like get your French toast and pancakes and all that breakfast stuff. Cause you need to try half of this stuff from places like IHOP and whatnot, cause they're really good.
Um, is it healthy? Just out of curiosity.
It's IHOP.
Well,
No,
I've never been to IHOP, so I wouldn't know.
you're killing me right now. I'm sorry, but you're killing me.
that 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 face, I could see it. Oh man, I
I mean,
wonder how many people just like went like, oh man.
I'm pretty sure most people. Have you been to Denny's?
No, I've not been to Denny's.
Okay, now there's like more people than ever that are face palming and are just like, "Are you kidding me?" Oh my gosh, dude!
Okay, listen.
We need to take a trip to IHOP. You know what? You know what? Free Pancake Day. We need to go on Free Pancake Day to just go and get some pancakes at IHOP. Me and you, we need to do that.
You know what I will do? We will go to a restaurant and we will order food that I've never had before. If TJ
Yes.
can't do it, then
Yeah.
then we'll
So,
have to uh, if he can't cook for it, then we will go to those restaurants and we will order the food. I will eat it. I will rate it, and during the podcast, I will talk about it, just like I did
yes.
today.
We need to take a trip like that. I will literally save up money just so we could go on trips to do that. Just like maybe even every Saturday or something, we just go to like a
No, that's too
restaurant.
much. That's too much. Not
Well,
every
yeah,
Saturday.
every month or every like 2 months or so.
We'll see.
Because
Um,
you really need to get out and start eating more things, man. Like
I'm sorry.
my mind is literally being blown.
Okay, can you think of any other things? I want to have everyone's forehead be totally red after they facepalm. Please, let's continue.
Okay. Please, you've had coffee, right?
I've actually made my own coffee, so
Nice. Okay. Good. You got the fresh kind.
mhm.
What have you had in your coffee? Milk and sugar, or any creamer? Or
Okay, well, here's the thing. I've made my own coffee, but I don't like coffee. So,
have you drank
um,
coffee?
I've drank black coffee, so like just pure coffee. I hated it because
Well,
okay,
I don't like it either.
I've also had like coffee with milk, and I've had coffee with sugar, and then coffee with milk and sugar. But let me. The reason why I don't like coffee is because as a person, I am. I wouldn't say I'm outgoing, but I already have a lot of energy, and I have a lot of things that go through my mind. And when I
Yeah.
drink coffee, um, it's not like I can't control myself, but it's really annoying because you feel like you want to do something and you want to run a mile, but you can't because you're sitting down and trying to do your own work,
Okay.
both
Yeah,
in
I
school
have like
and.
no energy.
But but what I do drink instead, because it's a lot lighter, is tea. I drink a lot of tea.
Oh yeah, I love tea. I just hit my headphones. I love tea.
Yeah, my mom, like, she makes her own tea, so yeah.
No, me and my mom and my family will just buy like the tea bags generally. Although sometimes my mom recently though did make some tea, which was
Mhm.
very good. So, but yeah, I do like tea as well. If I can't have coffee, surprisingly, I won't jump to tea as the next option. I actually jump to hot chocolate, and then if I don't have hot chocolate, then I'll have tea. But I do. But
Interesting.
sometimes every now and then, like at night, if I'm watching like a show, an example, Defenders, or Daredevil, or something like that, some Netflix show like that, I will make tea and then just sit down and relax and drink it while I'm watching in the show someone's head being bashed. But what a lovely image to put in someone's head. Just me sipping tea while seeing someone's head bashed in the show. It's great.
Um,
So
I have I haven't watched those shows, but I hear it's good. Anyway, so
you should
I've
definitely watch
had
them.
coffee and I've had tea. Hot chocolate I've had, but not with marshmallows.
I'll be honest. People are probably gonna hate me for saying this. You're not missing too much. I mean, sometimes I want to get into that Christmas spirit, and that puts me in that Christmas spirit, putting a marshmallow in there. But generally, I can live without it. Like I don't. I like it's nice to have, but I don't need it in there.
Ah, okay. So it's more
So
like I was gonna say it's more like a condiment, like a ketchup with fries, but I don't think so.
it's more like a. I guess you would put it a luxury with it almost, except a luxury that you could live without that really isn't needed.
I think because I did have this. I would much rather because I've had marshmallows before, and I don't know how that goes well together with milk, but I would have it with whipped cream. I think
Hot
that
chocolate with
fits.
whipped cream.
Yeah, that
Oh,
fits
that's
much
delicious.
better.
If we ever
Yeah.
go to IHOP, they do that. And a lot of places do that actually. If you ask, not even if you ask for it, they just do that. So, but trust me, when we go,
Mhm.
you're having that.
Man, I
So,
have not had a lot of foods.
this whole podcast at this point is just gonna be us talking about that. All right. So now I need to ask you what other foods you haven't tried, Abe. Let's see here. I
I'm
also
ready,
did hit my
Ian.
mic if you heard a noise.
It's okay. I'm totally ready for this, Ian.
Okay. So let me think here. What other foods? What other foods? Fried chicken?
Yeah, I've had fried chicken.
Okay.
Out of all the foods that anyone could ever have, I'm pretty sure the most primitive is fried chicken.
Okay, good. I mean, at this point, you shocked me with a few of the things, so I had to
Okay,
ask. I
so
had to.
when I say fried chicken, I've had like I fry my chicken. Like I haven't added anything. Like it's just fried. I've had that, but I've also had it
Oh,
with
so
like
not breaded?
I've also had it with like barbecue sauce. If that's I don't know if that's correct or not, but like
So you haven't had something from like KFC, for instance, which isn't the best representation, but
I've had KFC before. It's good.
oh,
I prefer Popeyes to be honest.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I've had some foods.
Yeah. Did you know in Japan it's a tradition around Christmas time, or actually around July, to order in advance from KFC so for Christmas?
Order in advance from KFC. I've never heard of this. Hold on, I want to.
In Japan, what they do is around like they KFC is a tradition to order around Christmas time and to eat. I found that out a while ago and I was like, why is that such a tradition? Is it their way of making fun of Americans in some way? I don't know.
Okay, so
So
apparently it was like an advertising thing, and KFC, so it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I guess what
yep.
they've done here in Japan is Kentucky for Christmas, which is interesting.
Oh, huh.
Which is really cool, actually. I like that. That's really cool. Just
Yeah,
looking at
I
the
like that too.
Wikipedia page, apparently KFC makes like 70% more sales when they do this, which is pretty cool, which is pretty smart, um, which is cool. I like that. That's Kentucky for
Yeah,
Christmas.
yeah, it's pretty interesting.
All right, so yes, I've had fried chicken. So continue.
Okay, good. Okay, let me think of other foods. There's a lot that are going through my head. I'm pretty sure you've had a burger, right?
I've had a traditional chicken burger with cheese. I've also had a traditional beef burger with cheese. Um,
Okay, good.
but is there any other burgers that I should be no, I should know of?
Uh, you kind of got the traditional down, and I think once you get the traditional down, all that's left is kind of the specific burgers at specific places. Have you had it with lettuce or tomato on
I
it, or
I
pickles?
like I've had lettuce, tomato, and pickles, but I don't have it frequently. So I don't know whether or not because I feel like pickles are good, tomatoes good, lettuce is good, but I don't know about onions. I don't know if you said onions, but I don't know about onions.
Onions are also put on there. Yeah, I can see if it's a turnoff for
Well, it's
you,
it's
but
not a fetish, but okay.
that's not what I meant.
Um,
But okay.
but I've had it with onions, and I think it was okay. But it's not that it's bad. It's just that by the time you put onions, pickles, and lettuce, it gets pretty big. Um,
Oh
so
yeah,
once you put onions there, it just adds an extra like layer, and my mouth is
becomes
not.
extra thick.
Yes, very thick, very,
Yep.
very, very thick. Anyway, so
Yep.
it adds an extra like height to it, and like I have to like really bite down on it in order to like eat it properly,
Yeah.
which is okay. Not mentioning the condiments and all that.
Yeah.
I can't like speaking of which, Big Macs. I've never had it, and I don't think I want to. It's oh god.
I've had a Big Mac. It's
It looks
alright. I mean, a lot of people stress it as like the best thing, but I'm like, it's alright.
because the way okay, so I've seen Big Macs before, and I've seen people eat Big Macs before, and I can't. This is gonna sound weird, but my mouth does not stretch long enough to eat Big Macs.
Oh, see, math doesn't stretch like that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've learned something about you that I was questioning.
Yep.
Totally. Okay. Alrighty. So let's think
But it's
about.
just okay. But the thing is, it's too large for me. And if you like it, that's totally fine. But I'm curious. Do you, for you guys listening, do you like do anything to your Big Mac to make it easier to eat, or do you just gulp down like the entire thing in one bite? What about
You know,
you?
I'll be honest right now. This is sounding. You take this out of context.
I could imagine people are taking sound bites from this and allowing me to say things in certain contexts and in certain connotations.
You can
But
even use Big Mac as a.
I can assure you, we're just talking about Big Macs.
Again, that could be taken way too wrongly. So.
Ian, we are professionals. Let me
Really?
tell you,
Are we really professionals?
we are professionals.
Okay.
Okay. So, I've never had a Big Mac. Anything that's bigger than a Big Mac, I've not had. Shut up.
I'm sorry. My immaturity just comes back. I generally try to act mature. My immaturity just cuts through like a knife. So.
All right. I'm trying to think. I've had Burger King before. I've had Wendy's. I've had McDonald's. So, I guess I'm a typical American.
Yeah. Did you have McDonald's fries?
I've had McDonald's fries. In terms of hierarchy, it is for fries. It would be McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King.
Like, are you going descending or?
McDonald's would be the best, and Burger King would be not the best. I wouldn't say it's bad. I'm just saying it's.
Yeah.
I would prefer McDonald's.
Yeah. Now, have you had Checkers fries?
Oh boy!
To
Listen
explain
to
really
me.
quickly for the people that that aren't in areas with Checkers, Checkers is sort of what tries to be an old timey look. It tries to look like an old timey 50s restaurant, but it's a fast food restaurant. So that's kind of how it looks. It has those kind of it has that aesthetic and has like milkshakes and all that type of stuff. You know, what every other place has. But their fries, in my opinion, are the best. I love their fries.
I've had other stuff with them. Like I've had the fries, and I can tell you that I've fallen in love with their fries.
Yep.
It's pretty good. It's I'm not. You know what? I take it back. It's amazing how good
Yes.
their fries are,
Hmm.
but I feel like they put so much effort into the fries because that's all people really order. That all the other stuff is I don't know how to say this nicely, but not as good quality, if you will.
I like their other stuff. I think their milkshakes are also pretty good, but
I've never
I
had their
like their other stuff.
milkshakes. I don't know. I've ordered their chicken nuggets. If you, I don't think they're called chicken nuggets. But they may as well be chicken nuggets. I've had those, and I didn't like them. It was very stale. Maybe my Checkers is not as good as other Checkers, but
I mean, we
it
don't have
was
too
not
many
good.
around,
I would imagine so.
so
But yeah,
yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I mean, I like their food, but their fries are really one of the only reasons you seriously go to them,
it
and their
could be
milkshakes, because
that
their
like
milkshakes
their
also.
fries are so good that everything else in comparison is bad. But I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it could be that like that whole effect essentially. I think that's probably what it is because I don't think their food is necessarily that bad, and I will eat it. Although I will say it gives me a bad case of diarrhea all the time after I eat them.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Really?
A lot of fast food places do that to me. Burger King especially is bad with it. They're the worst with it for me. Like I love their rodeo burger, but after I'm done with my meal, give it about 10 minutes and I'll be on the toilet for about 30 minutes.
I'm glad we talked about this. I'm glad people now know that you, Ian, after Burger King, are now going to. I just imagine like the people are now going to be sending you like loads of Burger King stuff just to.
I love Burger King though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but. Oh, hold up.
Okay,
Okay, so
so
people are going to send you a
yeah,
bunch of Burger King stuff. Um, but I guess that'll be okay for you. But severe
yeah,
bowel
I'm
movements.
probably not even the only one.
I would imagine so. I don't eat Burger King often, so I wouldn't. I don't remember.
Yeah. Ironically, though, the place that people say that that happens to them a lot with is Taco Bell, but that does not ever happen to me with Taco
I've
Bell.
never had Taco Bell.
I mean, I like Taco Bell personally, but I can imagine you're not missing too much. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Taco Bell is, for lack of a better way of phrasing them, they're just fast food Mexican food.
Fast.
That's all they
So
are.
it's all right. I see. I see. I've
There's
had
nothing much to it.
tacos before, but I have not had tacos from Taco Bell.
If you've had any other tacos, it's better. But it's more nostalgic for me at this point because I grew up eating Taco Bell quite a bit because Taco Bell is actually pretty inexpensive in terms of fast food. They're kind of on like the least expensive side. Um, so I used to because of my whole family situation around that time. We used to go there not frequently, but a decent amount, I would
Mm-hmm.
say. Um, Average person getting fast food is probably the best way to put it. Maybe a little less than the average.
Is Taco
Um,
Bell like the first fast food restaurant you ever had?
that I remember, yes. It's definitely there in my memory more, and I it's more nostalgic for me eating Taco Bell at this point, and I guess my body's also used to it as well. But I do definitely like Taco Bell, even though a lot of people don't. I personally like them. Although, if everyone kept saying Taco Bell was really bad and like no one should buy it, they're still going pretty strong, at least in America. And they started in UK, to my knowledge. They may have started a while ago, and I've just outdated with news at that. But
Wait,
I know they started in UK.
in the UK? Hold
Yeah,
up. Let me. I'm not sure because the UK and all other countries besides America are actually smart with their food and they don't just shove junk down their throats.
yeah. I know Mexico rejected Taco Bell like twice.
Really?
Yeah,
That's great.
because I can imagine they're like, no, we have the real food. We don't need this fake, cheap crap.
Okay,
Sorry
so
for that, by the way. Sorry for saying that. I don't know if that's considered like, under our rules of cursing and whatnot.
oh yeah, we have a rule for cursing, and we said no cursing. We'll talk about it later on, but because I have strong opinions about cursing,
Yep.
um, but that'll be for a future episode.
But is with
But you
that
know what? But you know what, Ian? I'm gonna scold you. I'm scolding you right now. I can't believe you said that. How dare you?
would, and I'm going to say this again. Would crap be considered a curse word, or is it just now just sort of a
I
word?
would. I don't know because
It's a vague area.
it is a vague area, but this is. I guess we're going to go into curses. See, the problem is that it isn't the meaning that makes it bad. It is the
It's how people
connotation.
use it.
No, because like defecate, for example, is a synonym for that, and but that's not the connotation is different because it's more scientific.
Mm.
When you use a curse like that, it's simply out of either anger or spite um, or just amian amiableness, I guess,
All right.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So
I guess.
I'm not sure if it does, if it counts or not, but I personally wouldn't.
All right, I'll try to refrain from saying stuff like that in the future. Then,
I'm
so
sorry.
we'll also see how our audience responds to it as well, if they think it's okay or not. I think that's also a deciding factor.
I wonder what they think. You know what? It's totally up to them in that case. If they think,
Yeah, I think at this point, like if like they should be the ones to tell us whether like what we said, like if there's curses, what we said is justified in that situation, or whether we should refrain from cursing or not.
mhm, their opinions. All right. Taco Bell has been in the UK for a while,
Okay.
or so I think. I don't know. I just looked it up real quick.
I thought I read something that they tried that they got it in 2012 and stuck there for a bit, but
Hmm.
I don't know.
Maybe,
I may
maybe
have been falsely given
false
information.
news.
Yeah, yeah, false news.
Oh, I don't listen to the news. I don't read the news. I don't listen to the news. I just
I listen and read the news sometimes. I don't normally do it too much. I get my information from a bunch of other sources, and then evaluate my opinion.
no. What I do is because my parents watch the news, so they'll tell me, and then I'll research it. Like I would heavily go into it.
Yeah, I just find out, just sort of like I'll just find out if it's a huge thing, and then I'll do my own research about it and whatnot, and see what is right and what is wrong about it, and or at least from my standpoint, and evaluate my opinion. And then if someone else comes up and says, "Hey, here's a different way of thinking," and I like that way of thinking, then okay, that's what it is, and I'll think about it, and I'll see if I like that standpoint or not. And if I do, then I'll adapt it into mine or replace my original opinion completely.
But okay, we'll talk about news in depth later on, future episodes. But there shouldn't be a standpoint. News is just news.
Yeah,
It
I
it
think
should
there should
just
be
be
no
about
bias.
no. There shouldn't be. You shouldn't have a bias. Like when you have news organizations telling you things, there should not be two sides. There should just be the news where they tell you stuff that happened.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you on that.
Good lord. It's oh my god.
That's
Anyway,
what I mean by
whatever.
no bias. Is they just report it and that's it.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, that was a tangent.
yeah, let's get back to the food thing.
All right, back to foods.
Okay.
Hey, I just realized,
What?
since this is the Cafe podcast, everything that I never had should be on the menu of our theoretical cafe.
Theoretical cafe. I like that. I like that.
Also, what should we call the people that listen to our podcast? What would we call them?
Let's see here. Um,
I don't know.
the
We'll figure it out. We'll make some stuff. We'll tell, and then yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think that will be best. We'll just figure it out somehow.
Or it could be like an inside joke. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Alrighty.
So other foods.
We've really gone for a fast food kick. Let's have some real food.
Real food. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever had ribs?
Ribs. Okay. I've had ribs, I like chicken ribs, but I'm assuming that when you say ribs, you mean like fried and like with barbecue sauce and it's like really big.
Oh yeah.
Then no.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting you to. Um. So yeah. Man, there's so many places we're gonna need to go. Uh.
I could imagine.
My gosh. Okay. Have you ever had fried green beans by any chance?
Fried green beans.
I
I
love
don't.
fried green beans.
I've boiled them. I've never fried them.
So
I
good.
didn't. I've never. That seems
Fry
so
them, or
weird.
like you gotta fry green beans with like breaded as well, and it's just so good. I love it.
Interesting. Alrighty, I'll try that. I think I can
Yes,
do that.
it is really good. I remember always going to Fridays in particular and always getting that, and they've always had that really good. So
Hmm.
you know, um, yeah, I can't really think of much else right now because I guess my mind is just not in that way of thinking.
Hmm.
So lasagna.
I've never had lasagna.
Oh, and Italian restaurants we're gonna need to go to. So many, so many. So
Can't wait.
yeah, I can't wait either because I really want to see your reaction. Okay.
I really should go out. Yeah,
So,
but let's talk
what
about
was that?
something else because we've been talking about food all day.
Yeah, yeah. Man, the lag needs to be fixed a little bit. We're gonna really need to work on lag a bit better sometime down the road.
Oh man. All right. Okay. Well,
It's gonna be
we've
fun.
been. This is the first time we've ever done something like this, so
Yep.
our editing is poor. Um.
Oh yeah. Though we're doing different editing styles as well, and by we, I mean I'm doing a lot of the manual labor with
Yeah.
it.
I'm not gonna lie. He's doing most of the work. Ian's
Yeah,
the
but
man.
we are trying different styles to see how we're working. So if you notice how this style is a little bit like we keep taking breaks, it's because the way we're working this is we're recording in 10-minute increments, and so it's easier to edit in a way. But hopefully we can find something that's better for us. I think because I think this will be easier to edit. I personally I get a little bit annoyed when I have to rush that 10 minutes. With an hour, it feels like with a full on hour, it feels a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the way we're working things right now is both audios that you're hearing are from our respective computers, not from one computer and then the other person you hear through Skype. So with that, it also causes problem with syncing issues and whatnot. So that's also becoming a prominent issue I've noticed. Uh, so
If anyone's an editor, open
yes,
ears.
if anyone's an editor. These first few episodes are going to be very rough. I'm probably even going to put that in the description of the first two episodes. That it's just going to be very, very rough, uh, due to all that. So, and I'm still learning with that type of stuff. While I am tech savvy, I definitely am not good at editing. I've never been that great at editing. I've been okay on a Mac, but I don't have a Mac. I have a Windows computer.
Rip.
Yeah. So thankfully, it's one that's decently powerful because I built it, so it's decently powerful enough that it can handle editing things and be fine. It's just the editing itself that becomes the problem for me. So
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Man,
yeah.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, well, yeah, we've been talking about food this whole time, so there's. Yeah, of course you're gonna be hungry. Heck, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten dinner yet, but I will after this. I'm having some raviolis. Have you eaten raviolis?
Ravioli. Is that like? Oh, I'm gonna sound like such an uncultured swine, but is it like
What are you looking
pasta?
at, you hockey puck?
Is it like pasta?
Sort of.
Like it's a different shape.
It's
I understand, right? It's like a.
yeah. The ravioli is filled with something.
Oh, is it like
Well,
filled
it's
with
filled with like
cheese? Oh, okay,
cheese
okay,
or
okay,
meat or whatever you want to fill it with.
okay,
I've
okay,
had it
okay,
filled
okay.
with cheese and lobster, and it was so good.
Cheese and lobster. I've never had lobster.
Yes. Really?
Yeah, I've always wanted to have like I've had jumbo shrimp before, but I've never had
Yeah.
lobster or crabs.
Okay. The place that I go to that I usually get my seafood from, they have like a grilled cheese lobster sandwich, and oh, I love it. I love lobster mixed with like anything. So, especially if it's good lobster, not that fast food
Mm.
stuff like McDonald's had the McLobster, which was just awful. Uh,
The Mick lobster.
it was awful. So,
I can imagine.
yeah.
Well, enough about food because I actually really am really hungry.
Okay.
I don't think I can survive 6 more minutes with this. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think what topic? What would the title of this be?
Well, considering we talked mostly about food, I think it's food and other minor stuff.
What I'm trying to figure out. It's food that I've never had before.
Yes.
So, what do you call food that people should have?
Foods that are required to live.
Alrighty. I
No, we'll figure it out eventually. Uh, maybe it should be foods that Abe hasn't tried.
mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Titles are never my strong suit.
Hmm.
So.
Common foods.
Common foods. Yeah, I guess that's just a simple title. And then when people actually listen to it, it's like, whoa, okay. Although I feel like if we put common foods that Abe hasn't tried, it's a little bit more grabbing. Like, what common foods have you not tried? And then they actually watch the video and it meets expectations, I think.
I don't know. I don't like it when there are other people's names on it.
Okay, foods that I guess common foods. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Oh no, I think it should be foods that you should have.
Common foods that you should have, or just food. Yeah, I guess that works.
I think that works. Foods that you should have.
Okay.
I like that.
So, there are a lot of foods here that you should have. So
Yeah, exactly. Um,
take a trip to IHOP, man. That's all we need to do. Um, but yeah,
Hey,
IHOP. I love IHOP.
what is it
So.
in a cafe? Right? Are there waiters and waitresses? I wouldn't. I don't think so. Right?
I think you have someone like that, but it's not like the ones you'd think at a restaurant generally. But you could theoretically have
Could
someone like that.
like a busboy.
I guess. I think you'd more just pick up your order in general, though.
That sounds just about right. Or like someone would bring you, like if you're in like a restaurant sort of situation, like when I don't know, cafes are different though.
They're not waiting on you, so it wouldn't be a waiter or a
Yeah,
waitress. It
you
would
just
be a.
you order the food. You know, if it takes some time, you sit on the side.
It would
You
be a
wait for
deliverer.
it. Yeah,
So
interesting. Maybe
that's
we should call our. I don't think we have a fandom because we're not that interesting. But for anyone who cares to listen to us, what would you want to name it? If you name our people,
mm, yeah. They're not really waiter. We wouldn't call our people waiters.
no, I would
Imagine
not call them waiters. But I thought there was some sort of name that the cafe people had.
the.
I'm not calling them busboys either.
Hello, my bus boys of the world. Oh my gosh, that'd
Actually,
be
maybe
interesting, but that would be very bad.
maybe we can go like back then, cafe was like a place for intellectual stuff. So like we could give them like enlightenment thinkers.
Caffeinated people.
Okay, caffeinated people.
I mean, yeah, I mean, when you're at a cafe, you're probably drinking something caffeine related, generally.
Should we call them Zeus if you're a boy and I
What was
believe
that? Zeus,
Zeus.
boy?
Zeus ya boy. No, like Zeus if you guys are if our fans are guys and Hera if they're girls.
Alright.
No, I don't like that actually.
It sounds.
I don't like that. I don't
It
like
kind
that.
of
I don't
just
like
didn't
that.
sound too great.
No.
I don't think we should base it off of like something like mythology. I feel like that's just gonna feel a bit weird.
What should we base it off of?
I really think it should be based off of some type of like small type of restaurant or a cafe, like what we were trying to do.
Okay, wait.
So
So, hmm.
the cafes? I don't know.
The Cafes?
Cafes.
Or do they a dance group?
The McCafees. I don't know.
Wow, the McCafees.
I don't know. Maybe we need that's technically an antivirus
I don't.
thing.
That's.
So.
Oh yeah, the McAfee.
Yeah.
Interesting. The McAfees.
They protect us from viruses. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know either.
At that point, they'd be sending us viruses. Oh, great. What did I do?
I don't know. Well, we'll think about it next episode.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, for now, thank you guys for actually taking the time and listening to us. And I hope, well, we hope to, hopefully that you tune into the next episode. So,
See ya.
see ya.